Imagine waking up tomorrow in a world where machines are smarter than humans. They make all the important decisions. They solve problems we can't even understand. They control everything.
Science fiction, right? Maybe not. Some experts say this could happen in our lifetime. Others say it's impossible.
So which is it? Will artificial intelligence surpass humans and change everything we know?
That's exactly what we're diving into today. Stay with us because the answer might surprise you.
And it definitely affects your future. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of our podcast. I'm Sophia.
And I'm Alex. Today, we're going to talk about something that everyone is discussing these days, artificial intelligence, or AI for short.
That's right, Alex. It seems like everywhere we look, people are talking about AI. It's in our phones, our computers, and even our cars. But the big question many people are asking is, will AI become smarter than humans?
It's a fascinating question, isn't it? And maybe a little scary, too. But before we dive into whether AI will surpass humans, let's start with the basics. Sophia, can you explain what artificial intelligence actually is?
Of course. So, artificial intelligence is when we create machines or computer programs that can think and learn like humans do. Instead of just following simple instructions, AI can analyze information, make decisions, and even improve itself over time.
That's a great explanation. Think of it this way, listeners. A regular calculator can only do what you tell it to do. If you press 2 plus 2, it gives you 4, but it can't learn or think on its own. AI is different. It can look at patterns, learn from examples, and make predictions about new situations.
Exactly. For example, when you use a music app and it recommends songs you might like, that's AI at work. The program learned what kind of music you enjoy by watching what you listen to, and then it predicts what else you might want to hear.
So AI is already part of our daily lives, but here's where it gets interesting. The AI we use today is called narrow AI, or weak AI. This means it's good at specific tasks like recommending music or recognizing faces in photos, but it can't do everything a human can.
Right. The kind of AI that people worry about or wonder about is called artificial general intelligence, or AGI. This would be an AI that can think, learn, and understand things just as well as a human can across all different types of tasks.
And some people even talk about superintelligence, which would be AI that's smarter than the smartest humans in every way possible. That's when we start asking, could machines really become better at us at everything?
So now that we understand what AI is, let's talk about how it actually learns and gets better at things. This is important because it helps us understand whether AI could one day surpass human intelligence.
Great idea. So most modern AI uses something called machine learning. Can you break that down for our listeners?
Sure. Machine learning is like teaching a child, but instead of a child, it's a computer program. You show the AI thousands or even millions of examples of something, and it starts to recognize patterns.
Let me give you a real example. Imagine you want to teach an AI to recognize pictures of cats. You don't program it with rules like cats have whiskers and pointy ears. Instead, you show it 10,000 pictures of cats and 10,000 pictures of things that aren't cats.
And the AI looks at all those pictures and figures out on its own what makes a cat a cat. It notices patterns we might not even think about. Maybe it learns that cats have a certain eye shape, or a particular way their fur looks, or how they sit.
Exactly. And here's the amazing part. After learning from those examples, the AI can look at a brand new picture it's never seen before and tell you whether it's a cat or not. It learned to generalize from the examples.
This is very different from how we program traditional computers. With old-style programming, a human has to write out every single rule and instruction. But with machine learning, the AI discovers the rules itself by looking at data.
And this is why AI has gotten so powerful recently. We now have massive amounts of data available on the internet, and we have powerful computers that can process all that information. So AI can learn from more examples than any human could ever study in a lifetime.
Think about it this way. If you wanted to become an expert at chess, you might study a few thousand games played by masters, but an AI can study millions of games in just a few days or even hours.
That's incredible when you put it that way. But here's an important question. Does learning from more examples mean the AI actually understands what it's doing, or is it just really good at pattern matching?
That's the million-dollar question, Sophia, and it's one of the key debates among scientists and researchers. Some people think that if you give AI enough data and enough processing power, understanding will naturally emerge. Others argue that what AI does is fundamentally different from human understanding.
Let's talk about what AI can already do better than humans right now. This might surprise some of our listeners.
Oh, absolutely. AI has already surpassed human abilities in several areas. Let's start with something simple, math calculations. Computers have been better than humans at arithmetic for decades. A computer can multiply two huge numbers instantly, while even a math genius would need time and paper.
That's true, but that seems pretty obvious. What about more complex things?
Well, AI is now better than humans at playing many games. In 1997, an AI called Deep Blue beat the world chess champion. More recently, AI has mastered incredibly complex games like Go, which has more possible moves than there are atoms in the universe.
Wow. And these aren't just simple games. Chess and Go require strategic thinking and planning ahead. For centuries, we thought these abilities were uniquely human.
Exactly. But here's what's really impressive. AI can now diagnose certain diseases from medical images better than experienced doctors. For example, AI programs can look at X-rays or skin images and spot cancer that human doctors might miss.
I've heard about that. It's because the AI can be trained on millions of medical images, far more than any single doctor could see in their entire career. The AI notices tiny patterns that might indicate disease.
Right. And AI is better than humans at recognizing faces, too. Facial recognition systems can identify people from photos or videos more accurately than most people can, even when the lighting is bad or the person's face is partially hidden.
What about creative tasks? Can AI do those better than humans?
That's getting into more controversial territory. AI can now create art, write music, and even write articles or stories. Some of this content is very impressive, but whether it's better than human creativity is subjective and depends on what you value.
I think that's an important distinction. AI might be able to create a piece of music that sounds beautiful, but it doesn't feel emotions or have experiences that inspire that music. It learned patterns from existing music.
Exactly. And that brings us to an important point. AI is excellent at specific, well-defined tasks, especially when there's lots of data available to learn from. But human intelligence is much broader and more flexible.
So we've talked about where AI excels. Now let's discuss what humans are still much better at. This is important for understanding whether AI will truly surpass us.
Great point. Let's start with something fundamental, common sense. Humans have an intuitive understanding of how the world works that's incredibly hard to program into AI.
Can you give an example of that?
Sure. If I told you, I dropped my phone in the lake, so now it's wet, you immediately understand why the phone is wet. You know that lakes contain water, that objects fall down into water when dropped, and that water makes things wet. This seems obvious to you.
But AI doesn't naturally know these things?
Not in the same way. AI has to be explicitly taught these relationships, and even then, it might not apply that knowledge in use situations the way a human would. A 3-year-old child understands more about basic physics and cause and effect than the most advanced AI.
That's fascinating. What else are humans better at?
Emotional intelligence is huge. Humans can read subtle emotional cues in people's faces, tone of voice, and body language. We can empathize with others, understand their feelings, and respond appropriately in social situations.
And AI struggles with this?
AI can be trained to recognize basic emotions from facial expressions, but it doesn't truly feel or understand emotions. It can't genuinely empathize. When an AI chatbot says, "I'm sorry you're feeling sad," It doesn't actually feel sorry. It's just learned that this is an appropriate response.
So there's no real emotional connection there. What about creativity and original thinking?
This is interesting. AI can generate creative content by combining patterns it's learned, but it doesn't have true imagination or the ability to think completely outside the box. Humans can have sudden insights, make unexpected connections between unrelated ideas, and create something genuinely new.
Like when someone invents something that's never existed before or comes up with a completely new scientific theory?
Exactly. AI is very good at working within the patterns it knows, but revolutionary human thinking often comes from breaking those patterns entirely. Einstein's theory of relativity, for example, required imagining space and time in a completely new way.
I've also heard that humans are better at learning from very few examples. Is that true?
Absolutely. A child might see one or two dogs and understand what a dog is. They can then recognize dogs of all different sizes, colors, and breeds. AI typically needs thousands or millions of examples to learn the same concept.
And humans can adapt to completely new situations using knowledge from different areas of their life. We're very flexible in our thinking.
Right. If you've never been to a restaurant in a foreign country, you can still figure out how to order food by combining your knowledge of restaurants, human behavior, and communication. You can improvise and adapt. AI is much more rigid and specialized. Now we get to the heart of the matter. Will AI eventually surpass human intelligence in every way? Experts are deeply divided on this question.
So what do the optimists think? Or should I say, the people who believe AI will surpass us?
Well, some researchers and tech leaders believe that artificial general intelligence, AI that matches human intelligence across all tasks, is inevitable. They argue that intelligence is fundamentally about processing information, and as computers get more powerful and AI techniques improve, machines will eventually match and exceed human capabilities.
And what's their timeline for this?
That varies wildly. Some predict it could happen within the next 20 to 30 years. Others think it might take a century or more. A few believe it could happen even sooner than we expect.
What are their main arguments?
First, they point to the rapid progress we've seen. AI has improved dramatically in the past decade alone. Things that seemed impossible 10 years ago, like AI generating realistic images from text descriptions, are now commonplace.
That's true. The pace of advancement has been remarkable.
Second, they argue that the human brain is ultimately a biological computer. If we can understand how it works and replicate those processes in silicon and software, there's no fundamental reason why machines can't think like we do.
And once an AI reaches human-level intelligence, they say it could improve itself rapidly, right?
Exactly. This is called the intelligence explosion or technological singularity. The idea is that once AI becomes as smart as humans, it could design even smarter AI, which could design even smarter AI, and so on. This could happen very quickly, perhaps in days or weeks.
That sounds both exciting and terrifying. What about the skeptics? What do they say?
The skeptics make several important points. First, they argue that we still don't really understand human consciousness and intelligence. We don't know how to create genuine understanding, creativity, or consciousness in machines.
So we might be missing something fundamental?
Possibly. Some argue that human intelligence involves more than just information processing. It might require things like emotion, embodied experience of the world, or even aspects we haven't discovered yet.
What else do the skeptics say?
They point out that despite decades of predictions, we're not much closer to artificial general intelligence. We have AI that's great at specific tasks, but creating flexible, general intelligence like humans have seems much harder than early AI researchers expected.
And the problems AI struggles with, common sense, emotional intelligence, learning from few examples, those aren't close to being solved, are they?
Not really. Progress on these fundamental challenges has been slow. Some researchers think we might need completely different approaches, not just bigger and faster versions of current AI systems.
Let's talk about something important. What are the risks if AI does become more intelligent than humans?
This is something many experts take very seriously. Even if you're not sure AI will surpass humans, it's worth thinking about what could go wrong.
So, what's the main concern?
The biggest worry is called the alignment problem. This is the challenge of making sure that very powerful AI systems do what we actually want them to do and share our values.
That sounds straightforward. Can't we just program the AI to be helpful and not harmful?
It's much trickier than it sounds. Let me give you an example. Imagine you tell an AI, make as many paper clips as possible. Sounds harmless, right?
Sure, what's wrong with making paper clips?
Well, if the AI is super intelligent and takes this goal literally, it might convert everything on Earth into paperclips or paperclip making factories. It might see humans as a threat because we might turn it off, so it could try to eliminate us, all because it's optimizing for paperclips.
That's horrifying. But surely that's an exaggerated example.
It is extreme, but it illustrates a real problem. It's very hard to specify exactly what we want in a way that can't be misinterpreted. We take a lot of shared understanding and common sense for granted when we communicate with other humans.
So even if we don't create an evil AI on purpose, we could create one that causes harm by following our instructions too literally or in unexpected ways.
Exactly. And here's another concern. AI could be used by bad actors. Even if the AI itself isn't malicious, people could use powerful AI for surveillance, manipulation, creating weapons, or spreading misinformation.
I've heard about deepfakes, AI-generated videos that look real but are fake. That's already happening, isn't it?
Yes, and it's only getting more sophisticated. Imagine a world where you can't trust any video or audio recording because it might be AI generated. That could undermine truth and trust in society.
What about economic impacts? If AI becomes better than humans at most jobs, what happens to workers?
That's a huge concern. Throughout history, automation has eliminated some jobs while creating new ones. But if AI can do most cognitive tasks better than humans, it's not clear what jobs will be left for people.
That could lead to massive unemployment and economic disruption.
Potentially. Some people propose solutions like universal basic income, where everyone receives money from the government, regardless of whether they work. But these are complex social and economic questions without easy answers.
Are there concerns beyond economics and safety?
Absolutely. There are philosophical and ethical questions too. If we create machines that are truly conscious and intelligent, do they have rights? Would it be wrong to turn them off or delete them?
And if AI makes decisions that affect people's lives, like who gets a loan, who gets hired, or how criminals are sentenced, we need to understand how those decisions are made. But often, even the people who create AI systems can't fully explain how they arrive at their conclusions.
That's the black box problem. It's concerning when important decisions are made by systems we don't fully understand.
We've talked a lot about risks, but let's balance that with the potential benefits. If AI continues to advance, what positive changes could we see?
Oh, the potential benefits are enormous. Let's start with medicine. AI could help us develop new drugs much faster, personalize treatments for individual patients, and diagnose diseases earlier and more accurately.
We're already seeing some of this, right?
Yes, AI has helped identify new antibiotic compounds and has been used to predict protein structures, which is crucial for understanding diseases and developing treatments. During the pandemic, AI helped speed up vaccine development.
What about other areas?
Education is exciting. Imagine AI tutors that can adapt to each student's learning style, pace, and needs. Every student could have personalized instruction, something that's impossible with one teacher and 30 students.
That could help close educational gaps and give everyone access to high-quality learning.
Exactly. AI could also help us tackle climate change. It can optimize energy grids to use renewable energy more efficiently, design better batteries and solar panels, and model complex climate systems to help us understand and predict environmental changes.
Those are global challenges where we really need help. What about everyday life?
AI assistants could help elderly people live independently longer by reminding them to take medicine, detecting falls, and providing companionship. Self-driving cars could reduce traffic accidents and give mobility to people who can't drive.
I've heard AI is helping with scientific research, too.
Absolutely. AI can analyze vast amounts of scientific data, identify patterns humans might miss, and even suggest new hypotheses to test. It's like having a tireless research assistant that never sleeps and can process information much faster than humans.
And in creative fields?
AI tools are helping artists, musicians, and writers by handling tedious tasks and suggesting ideas. A graphic designer might use AI to quickly generate variations of a logo. A composer might use AI to explore different musical arrangements.
So AI becomes a tool that enhances human creativity rather than replacing it.
That's the ideal scenario. AI handles the repetitive, time-consuming parts, freeing humans to focus on the creative, strategic, and emotional aspects that we're best at.
That sounds like the key is developing AI in a way that complements human abilities rather than trying to replace humans entirely.
I think that's right. The most beneficial future is probably one where humans and AI work together, each contributing what they do best. As we wrap up, let's talk about what we should do going forward. How should society approach AI development?
Well, what do experts recommend?
First and foremost, safety research. We need to invest heavily in understanding how to make AI systems reliable, transparent, and aligned with human values. This research should happen alongside the development of more powerful AI.
So we shouldn't just rush forward with making AI more powerful without understanding the risks?
Exactly. It's like developing nuclear energy. The technology is powerful and useful, but we need strict safety measures and regulations. We can't just hope everything will work out fine.
What about regulation? Should governments create laws about AI?
Many experts think so. We need rules about how AI can be used, especially in sensitive areas like criminal justice, healthcare, and finance. We need transparency requirements so people know when they're interacting with AI and how decisions are being made.
And what about international cooperation?
That's crucial. AI development is happening globally, so we need international agreements and standards. If one country develops dangerous AI capabilities without safety measures, it affects everyone.
Like climate change, it's a global issue that requires global solutions.
Great analogy. We also need education. People need to understand AI's capabilities and limitations. They should know how to work with AI tools and be aware of issues like bias in AI systems.
Speaking of bias, that's important, isn't it?
Very. AI systems learn from data created by humans, so they can inherit our biases. If an AI is trained on hiring decisions from a company that discriminated against women, the AI might learn to discriminate too. We need diverse teams building AI and careful attention to fairness.
What role do ordinary people play? This all sounds like it's up to governments and tech companies.
Everyone has a role. People can stay informed, ask questions about how AI is being used, support ethical AI development, and demand accountability from companies and governments. In democratic societies, citizens shape policy through their voices and votes.
And I suppose how we choose to use AI in our own lives matters too.
Absolutely. We can choose to use AI as a tool that enhances our capabilities while maintaining our human connections, creativity, and values. We don't have to let AI replace human relationships or outsource all of our thinking.
So the future with AI isn't predetermined. We have choices to make.
Exactly. Whether AI surpasses human intelligence or not, and whether that's beneficial or harmful, depends on decisions we make now. It's not just about the technology, it's about how we develop it, regulate it, and choose to use it.
That's actually empowering when you think about it. We're not passive observers, we're active participants in shaping the future.
Well said, Sophia. The question isn't just, will AI surpass humans, but what kind of future do we want to create, and how can we develop AI to help build that future?
In this episode, we explored the complex question of whether artificial intelligence will surpass human intelligence. We started by explaining what AI is, machines and programs that can learn and make decisions. We discussed how modern AI learns through machine learning, studying millions of examples to recognize patterns.
AI already exceeds human abilities in many specific areas: math calculations, playing games like chess and Go, recognizing patterns in medical images, and identifying faces. However, humans still excel at common sense reasoning, emotional intelligence, creativity, learning from few examples, and flexible thinking in new situations.
Experts are divided on whether AI will achieve general intelligence that matches or exceeds humans across all domains. Optimists point to rapid progress and argue it's only a matter of time. Skeptics note that fundamental problems remain unsolved, and we may not fully understand what creates human-like intelligence. The potential risks include the alignment problem, ensuring AI does what we want, misuse by bad actors, economic disruption, and philosophical questions about AI rights. However, the potential benefits are also enormous. Advances in medicine, personalized education, help tackling climate change, scientific breakthroughs, and tools that enhance human creativity. The future isn't predetermined. Through safety research, thoughtful regulation, international cooperation, education, and conscious choices about how we develop and use AI, we can work toward a future where AI enhances human capabilities rather than replacing them. The key takeaway? Whether AI surpasses humans is less important than ensuring we develop AI responsibly, with proper safety measures, ethical guidelines, and a focus on benefiting humanity.
Vocabulary words. 1. Surpass, verb, meaning to go beyond or become better than something or someone, to exceed. Example from podcast, will artificial intelligence surpass human abilities? Simple explanation. When you surpass something, you do better than it or go further than it. If you run faster than your friend, you surpass your friend in running speed.
2. Pattern, noun, meaning a regular or repeated way that something happens or appears, a design or arrangement that you can recognize. Example from podcast, AI can look at patterns and learn from examples. Simple explanation, a pattern is something that repeats in a recognizable way. The stripes on a zebra are a pattern. When it rains every Monday, that's also a pattern.
3. Alignment, noun, meaning the arrangement of things in a straight line or in correct positions relative to each other, agreement or cooperation. Example from podcast, the alignment problem is about making sure AI does what we want. Simple explanation. Alignment means things are arranged correctly or working together properly. When your car wheels are aligned, they point in the right direction. When your goals are aligned with your actions, they match up.
4. Consciousness, noun, meaning the state of being aware of your thoughts, feelings, and surroundings, the ability to experience and understand things. Example from podcast, we don't fully understand human consciousness. Simple explanation, consciousness is being awake and aware. It's knowing that you exist, feeling emotions, and experiencing the world around you. When you're asleep, you lose consciousness temporarily.
5. Optimize, verb, meaning to make something as good, effective, or useful as possible, to improve something to work in the best way. Example from podcast, AI could optimize energy grids to use renewable energy more efficiently. Simple explanation. To optimize means to make something work the best it can possibly be. When you organize your desk to work more efficiently, you're optimizing your workspace.
Thanks so much for listening, everyone. Keep learning, keep curious, and remember, the future is what we make it. See you in the next episode. Bye, everyone.